Hey guys, this is the KDP uploading video. I apologize for it being a little bit longer than the other ones, but there are a few things to cover. So if you haven't already, log into KDP. If you have an Amazon account, it will just automatically log you in with those details. If you don't, just set up a new account and it's pretty straightforward from there. Once you have set up an account, you are presented with your bookshelf. So you've got your bookshelf, reports, community, and KDP select. When you go through and set up your KDP bookshelf, if you come up to your actual account, that will show you how to fill in tax information, bank account details, all that stuff so that you get paid. But this is about uploading to KDP. You can see I've got a few books in here at the moment. I've got one that I'm just sort of going through and uploading now, so I will take you through that process. So if you were doing this from scratch, you would just click on Add New Title. It just takes a little bit to come into. And the first thing that you're presented with is KDP Select. So if you are someone that doesn't have any type of list, then I would definitely recommend that you enroll in this. If you do sort of already have a list, or you think you have a fairly good network that you're going to market to, then maybe think twice about enrolling into KDP Select. So have a look at the information. It just allows you to market in a bigger way, allows you to offer your book for free. It also means that your book is enrolled in KDP Unlimited and the lender library, which means that if somebody borrows your book or accesses it through Kindle Unlimited, you still get paid. At the moment, that is between $1.50 to $2 per book, and it just kind of goes up and down. So leave that up to you in terms of whether you want to do that or not. So once you're there, you really just go through and enter in the details, name of your book, which is your title, and if it has a subtitle, you can put it here, or you can put it in the name of the book. That's pretty simple. If the book is part of a series, then tick that. If it's if you plan to do an updated version anywhere down the line, then put that this is edition number 1. For publisher, you can put your name, or if you're actually going through an indie publisher, or if you're going through a traditional publisher, that's where you'd put their details. This is where you put in the description. You can just click on this and sort of drag this down. You've got up to 4,000 characters, and that includes letters and spaces. So it'll tell you how much you've done. I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you physically type this in here. You can have it written in Word, but if you copy and paste from Word, it's going to copy over all the sort of HTML stuff that Word has associated with it, and when you go to save and publish the book, it'll come back and tell you that there's a whole bunch of HTML which you're not allowed to put into initially. So when you come in here, just type your description in, just plain text. You can't apply any formatting at this stage. You can come back in later and apply formatting based on those HTML codes that I've provided to you. But when you are going through and doing your initial first upload, you have to put it in as plain text, and you can't apply any formatting at all. So you would just go through, type that in. Don't forget to add yourself as the author. So you would just go add contributor, type your name, choose that you're the author, and then hit save. And if you need to add, if you've got anybody that maybe, if you wanted to, you could add the editor. If you've had someone do a foreword, or if they're an illustrator, anything like that, you can add them here. But for most people, it will just be you. I don't add my editor details at all, because really they're just a copy editor, they're not a content editor. So entirely up to you, but generally just stick with your details. So make sure that you add that in there, what language your book is. You do not need to worry about the ISBN number unless you plan to market the book into bookstores yourself, in which case do not enroll it in KDP Select. So if you're going through a traditional publisher, they will probably handle all this for you, but we're looking at self-publishing, so for the purposes of what we're trying to do here, just ignore that. You don't need to worry about it from the Kindle version. Then you want to verify your publishing rights. So if this isn't a public domain work, i.e. you can't find the book online for free, then you need to make sure that you tick that this is not a public domain work and that you hold the publishing rights. So if you've written this book yourself, then you definitely hold the correct publishing rights. Now, this is the part where you need to target your book to your customers, and this is where you choose your categories and add in your keywords. So just a little bit about the categories. Remember, in the book I say that they don't exactly match up, and they pretty much don't. I don't know why Amazon have done that, but when you go into the actual Amazon store, your categories just really don't match up, other than being the main heading categories. So when you come in here, if you choose which one you are, so for instance, if you're non-fiction, the main categories are listed here. It's the drop down ones that don't necessarily match up. So all you can do is find your best fit. So for instance, the Side Hustle Blueprint book comes under business and economics. Now I would have stuck this under, I think it was entrepreneurship and then small business. It doesn't give me that option from here. So it's just a matter of coming in here and just going through each one, and wherever you see like a blue line, blue text, that means that there's, it drops down a little bit further. So just do your best, and when it is published and live and starting to get reviews and people are buying it, you'll start to see that the categories start to match up to what you probably thought they should be. If they don't, and if you're not happy with them, you can come back into your bookshelf and come in here and change these at any time. So don't think that these are stuck in stone at all. So once you've done that, you don't need to enter an age range unless you're writing erotica or sort of adult fiction, anything like that. Same with US grade range, you don't need to worry about that unless it's specific to what you're writing about. And then this is where you input your keywords. So this is where you would have used merchant words. If you didn't use merchant words, you could have just used a Google search. You could just search on Amazon and find that information out for yourself. Try and use the 7 keywords as much as possible, as you put in as many keywords as you can. If you're a fiction writer, put in your genre specific keywords. So if you are writing religious horror, religious fiction, anything like that, then put religious fiction and then just separate it with a comma. That's how you get the 7 words. Then you come down to checking whether you want to release the book now. So when you're going through this process, if you aren't ready to release it yet, but you don't want to do the pre-order, just always save as draft. Then it won't publish the book. It'll just have it sitting in your bookshelf, just like this book that I've got here that is sitting in draft. It'll just show you as being draft. So that's what you would look when you go through that process. So let me open this one so that we can kind of follow through. So for this particular book, I am putting it into KDP Select because it's a slightly different book. It's a sort of an image-based book, more so than anything. So we'll just sort of scroll through. You can see that I have separated the title and the subtitle. That just differentiates in Amazon. It puts a little colon between the actual book title and the subtitle. If you don't want to do that, you can, like I said, you can just put the entire book title and subtitle up in this one spot. It doesn't make any difference really. Again, publisher, I haven't put in the description as yet. This is what I was talking about, where you want to add the contributor. You don't need to worry about ISBN. Always make sure that you verify your publishing rights. If you don't, you'll get an email from Amazon saying that you need to do that within a certain period of time. Otherwise, they will actually ban you from KDP. So make sure that you do that when you're going through this process. And as you can see, I have chosen 2 very different categories. Make sure that you cross-categorize as much as possible. This means that you don't choose 2 subcategories within a main subcategory. So for instance, business and economics, I could have chosen, small business, entrepreneurial, anything like that, and outsourcing. So doesn't really work that way. You don't get as many people looking at your book unless you're cross categorizing. Same with fiction. If you can get your book into a couple of different genres, try and do that as much as possible as well. I also haven't entered my keywords in as yet. Now I am ready to release this book. I just have to come in and finish doing that. Once you get down to here, make sure that you upload your cover, make sure that it meets the cover guidelines, and you can find out what those are here. I'm just trying to remember what they are, but if you open that, it will show you what the minimum requirements are in terms of height and width and DPI in terms of how good quality that is. So once that's uploaded, you will come down here and upload your book file, and you have the option to enable digital rights management or to just leave it as is. This tells you basically what it is, but basically if you enable digital rights management, it means that they can't share your book anywhere. I'm not too worried about that because it is completely branded with all my information. They can't go and make any changes to the book. You know, if they want to give the book away or anything like that, that's fine because people are still getting access to it. So just thinking about that. For some of my other books, I do enable digital rights management. So it just really depends on what your book is about, whether you're trying to build an audience, in which case I would not enable DRM. If it is, you know, if you already have an audience in place and you just want to have that added level of protection, then enable the DRM from there. So to upload your book content file, you would do that from here. So this is uploading the .mobi, the Mobi file. So make sure that you've either compiled from Scrivener, and if you haven't used Scrivener, that you have used another program or paid somebody to convert that for you. So you can upload it, and once it's uploaded, it will tell you if there are any issues, like if there's any spelling issues, formatting issues, anything like that. Then you also have another option to preview your book if you wanted to at this stage, but you should have already done that using the Kindle previewer that you can download from the KDP community, but you can also do it from here. So once that's done, you would just go save and continue, and it will take you through to the next page, which is all about pricing. So always choose worldwide rights unless you want to specifically only target select countries, but 9 times out of 10 you should be doing the worldwide rights. So when you're doing your initial launch, you know, we talked about you know, initially putting your book at the 70% royalty, you know, choosing a price initially of around, you know, anywhere from $5.99 up to $9.99. So you would just come in here and this is where you would do it. And so for instance, I'm going to put this in at $7.97 and hit tab, and it will automatically update everything down here. Now you'll see that there are some that need specific pricing points, and some are only able to be set to 35%. India is one of those. So if you want to, you can come in and change, like, so this would be $3.99 to be able to get 70%. So it's just a matter of coming down here and just making sure that there's no red flags. You can manually change all of these price points if you want to, and I would recommend that you do that if you want your book to be a certain price across the board, bearing in mind that in some countries that doesn't necessarily work. So if you just want to keep it simple, just keep them all ticked, making sure to check for any sort of red flags that come up. And then once you're ready to do that, you can come down here and it's already, because you're in KDP Select, it's already ticked for lending. And then you would come down and go and just, you know, say that you agree with all the terms and conditions, and then you would go save and publish. I'm still in the process of doing this, so I'm just going to go save as draft. So that is essentially how you go through the process of uploading to KDP. I've gone through this really quickly. But if you just go through each step, read everything as you go, you shouldn't have any problems. If you do, just reach out to me and I can help you walk through that process. Come back and look at the video and you should be fine. If you're at all uncertain, just always hit save as draft, and it will say that your information has been saved, and then you can come up and click on your bookshelf and you'll see that it's sitting there as draft. Remember, as soon as you hit save and publish, that will launch the book to be completely brand new, and it will be live. So it takes about, depending on the time of the day that you hit save and publish, it can take anywhere from 2 to 12 hours to go live in the Kindle store. So you'll get an email from Amazon telling you that the book is live, and it gives you all the different store links. So super, super exciting when that happens. So just to wrap up, this is KDP uploading. Just remember, put in, when you're doing your description, just put in plain text, no formatting, don't cut and paste from Microsoft Word or any other program, as you'll probably run into some issues. Any questions, just shoot me an email, lise@outsourcedfreelancingsuccess.com, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.